Hey, welcome to the Captain's Log for June 7th, 2024. My name is Dan Javin, and on the screen here, I would like to introduce you to our newest Tier 1 crew, Warship Torres. We are all competing. We are all trying our best to earn this card, and we'll tell you why a little bit later on. But to start, let's do a little bit of a news recap. We've had a big week for newsworthy things for our games, for Star Trek Timelines. I'd like to just show you initially here over in the Tilting Point WRG forums a formal announcement for the trait audit changes. We've been promised for months and months a trait audit. We're going to finally fix all these traits for these old crew. They've announced not only a trait audit, but also announced that this is their first pass. So it looks like they may be refining this and making it a regular thing to try to not only improve gameplay, expand fleet boss battle node solving, and especially retrievability, but also just make them flavor accurate, to take old crew, update them, take away or give the traits that are needed here. And here's an entire digest. This wasn't available on the first day. The trait audit was done on 6.5. But they didn't actually get this out until hours after the audit was done. This list not only has all the old crew that have old traits at it, but also, notice here, Playful, brand new trait that was released to the game. It's live now, and it's not only been retroactively applied to all the crew that needed it. Almost 100 crew received the Playful trait, but also this Playful trait is now retroactively in all of our constellations. So let's take a look at that now. I actually want to go in-game here and do a little bit of gameplay. Let's take a look at our constellations and see where we can get a pole star from. We go to our inventory and then constellations, and let's just do a search for Playful. This is going to be key because a lot of our older crew are now retrievables, and if they became retrievable, they most likely did because they had the Playful trait added to them. So I have a pretty good stockpile here of some potential Playful crew. Corrupted Badgie's got some really great traits on him. I might pull on that a few times, see if I can get a Playful. If I can get a hologram, I'd be happy. Some of the other ones are kind of middling here. Duelist, no real luck so far. Brutal. This is a brutal list of pulls here. There's a Playful pull star. Let's go. So let's see over in the actual Celestial Market what this is going for currently. We search for Playful. It looks like we've got some orders at 50 grand and listings at 100 grand. And I could tell you right now, look at this. 3 sold in the past 24 hours, last sold at 111,000. And I can tell you right now that they're selling for that because one of them is mine, 6 figures. For anybody that wants to capitalize on the brand new trait, go ahead and pull some of those old constellations you had laying around here. They've gained some value recently, and you can turn that directly into some ISM. So really interesting update. We'll take a look at some of the new retrievables here. Actually, I want to show you Discord real quick. One of the pillars of our community, No Name Namer. Thanks for your thankless work, No Name Namer, keeping the BigBook.app updated. Also went above and beyond here and provided a list of new crew, old crew who can now be sniped. They used to be either a coin flips chance, but now they're up to 100% retrievable because of traits that were added. We do have EV Suit Mariner gain the Playful trait and now goes from 25% to 100% retrievable. Let's break this out a bit. I'm going to only pull the gold crew here. This is a behold that I set up on datacore.app earlier because it's really great for just pulling the crew that you want to see and giving them a heads up here. Let's look at tiers. Away team number 1 is really notable as a Gauntlet crew. She's ranked number 15th overall in Gauntlet with a really strong command psi. If we hold her up here, look at this. So on these collection thresholds, I've got about an average set of collections, and she would be getting me up to almost an 800 roll in science, about 650 in command. So if I were to break into Gauntlet and I didn't have any exclusives and I wanted to start getting some 3 streaks, she'd be a tremendous retrieve target. Not only that, but Una variants. Not only do they now have the engineered, so that's another collection that they can earn, but also really show up pretty frequently in events. You'll see her, more often than not because she's in an active life series. And even this original Major Barrett artwork of the Una variants still counts. So long as it's the persona, you can use it in events. A couple other notables here. Mountain Climber Mayweather has a kind of a unicorn skill set. This command Eng Med only shows up on 2 crew in the entire game. He's the more powerful of the 2, but still kind of behind the curve. I think a 5-year-old crew, pretty dismal chance to get on voyages at all, but previously unretrievable. Now you can get him and finish him off. EV Suit Mariner is probably the best collection crew. Let's sort by collections, and she has 5 total. 4 of them full stat boosting animated. Just the last threshold will get you a little bit of a blanket skill boost to all your crew. But a more modern crew, also a Mariner who gets a ton of events, a really good opportunity to retrieve her, whereas previously you wouldn't be able to. So take a look at that list in the Discord on Trek Time that Namer had posted, and do a little experimentation on your own and see who you can pull up now to help your roster. In addition to our trait audit, we have had a little bit of an oopsie by Wicked Realm Games. Let's take a look at this image I have here of a pack that got released at the beginning of our Galaxy event yesterday. For the first hour and a half of our Galaxy event, we had this missing pieces of pack available, and you notice where my cursor is here. The buy 10 is cheaper than the buy 1. So for the few the lucky captains that were in the game and taking a look at the shop, and that astutely noticed that there was a fire sale discount on the 10 packs here. Some of them took great advantage of this. I've heard of people who pulled this pack more than 100 times to get not only the Jadzia finished off, but also a Star for Innovator ROM, who we're going to get 4 free copies of in this event. And finally, the biggest thing is that we are expecting an honor sale right after this mega is done. We're due for one. They usually announce the honor sales in the off weeks between megas. So it's a really good bet that anybody who wanted to convert dilithium to honor here by running these packs, and just even if they had fully fused everything in the pack, just recycling everything for honor, really got a huge windfall. And so it was noteworthy that this got fixed within about 90 minutes, and some people were left out in the cold as word proliferated. Some people went to go click on the pack and noticed that it was at full price again. So yeah, kind of unfortunate. We had some angry posts over on the forums. I don't want to give a ton of airtime to the drama. You can read this for yourself if you're interested, but kind of some shade thrown back and forth throughout the community. But I do want to point out the formal response that we have about 3/4 of the way down the thread here from Star Trek community. They do acknowledge the mistake. There's a little bit of word salad here. Their explanation I kind of want to take with a grain of salt, because they're saying that this is only a limited issue, but in fact every purchase of the pack was at a discount. They mentioned something that's a little concerning here. We apologize for the inconvenience and we'll reach out to the team for further action if possible. Ooh, I wish they would have explained that a little bit. In the past, there have been some issues with the store where offerings occurred where people who took advantage of something that was clearly mismarked and wrong received a short-term ban to the game. This was reversed, and I think that perhaps we can hope that the development team has learned their lesson about banning players who are actively investing in the game in this way. I feel like it's in everyone's best interest to just sweep this under the rug, move on, and not make any other changes. But I've also seen comments on the Discord, particularly I saw a comment where they had mentioned, hey, if anybody invested in this pack in the time that it was discounted and got fully fused Jadzia that wouldn't otherwise have it, don't they have a competitive advantage in the Galaxy event? I bet you they do. I think they actually do have an advantage going into this Galaxy event. If you take a look here at the event planner, just how pervasive having a fully fused Jadzia is for your security nodes, even extending into the science nodes as well. She just got a really good spread for this event. You're just going to get more super rares if you're running her. Certainly people that invested in the packs are going to have a bit of an advantage. But why? Why does that matter? Why does everyone care so much about this particular Galaxy event? Well, that comes down to this lady right here, Warship Torres. So, tier 1, right? Pretty good, I guess. Let's see how. I mean, I'm seeing some pretty high numbers here. Gauntlet 176, Event 182. Voyage rank 4, is that really enough to push her into tier 1? Well, let's take a look here. I want to see her in line with all the other Voyagers. Let's see. We've got, actually in particular, a great place to start is to take a look at the voyage rank. And you'll see here a number. For Mira Tufok, for instance, he leads the pack with a voyage rank of 55. That's the combined skill totals with all boosts available in the game, including max collections. So all of his dip, psi, and sec added together. Warship Torres, taking a look a little bit further down here, only 53. I say only, that's massive. We'll see in a second just how big. But how can she be only 4th when she is about almost 200 points behind Mira Tuvok? And even looking at her next closest competition here, at number 5, we have Inspiring Captain Burnham, currently in the portal, retrievable. Why wouldn't you retrieve Inspiring Captain Burnham? More than 110 points higher than Warship Torres, but 1 rank behind. It's everything to do with the skill set. Inspiring Captain Burnham, command side dip, dip sci sec, command sec eng, command sec sci. Again, we've harped on this on other media before. We've got just a glut of command, dip, sec, sci crew. So anytime we see med and eng show up on a crew, immediately those Endorian antenna are up, and we want to just take a look. And here we have a great combination of a high voyage rank, as well as this is actually a unicorn skill set. There is no other crew in the game, and I'll show you in a second here. No other crew in the game with med, eng, sec in exactly that skill order. We're going to click into her, and she's it. That's the only one. If we change these to pipes, the search is going to treat these as ores. So we're looking for anybody in the skill set. And you've got to look back about 3 years to Prisoner Kim. Eng primary, so a little bit different, but still really valuable compared to Warship Torres. Still on many rosters as an active Voyager, but in terms of voyage rank, 250 points behind in total skill power compared to Warship Torres. So you can just show the power creep here and just how high the curve has gotten in the past 3 years. Further than that, we've got a whole bunch of older crew, some more effective than others for voyage. But Warship Torres is just so notable in how far ahead she is from everybody else. And in particular, I want to show you just among med primary crew. So this search here is going to show us just the P-Med. Let's take a look at her peers. So when we take a chapel, Dr. Simon Van Gelder, these are our 2 voyage exclusive drops. Both of these crew about in the range of 150 points behind Warship Torres. And notable here, so these 2 crew, if you're banking on getting one of these to solve your med needs, you may be putting the cart before the horse. You have to already have been able to achieve 6-hour voyages and optimally 10-hour voyages to get the dilemmas you need to even trigger these gold beholds in the voyage dialogue. And so Warship Torres is notable because you can actually earn her. Just play the event. If you grind Galaxy enough, there's a known quantity to be able to get into the top 1,500, and if you can just submit more super rares and grind more supply missions than anybody else, you're going to get at least 1 copy of Warship Torres. And you know what? If you miss out, no worries, because next week she's going to be in the event pack. So our skirmish event coming up next week is going to feature Warship Torres, and when you buy that pack, maybe you want to finish off the 3 out of 4 purple stars that you get on the purple drop for that skirmish event. Perfectly valid. You have a 1 in 10 chance of getting Warship Torres when you open that pack. And even if you miss that, even if you don't want to buy into next week's event pack, you've got mega recaps. So for 380 dilithium, it doesn't seem like much of a bargain compared to 65 dilithium for a 10 pack like the Era yesterday. But when you pull your mega recaps, maybe you want to finish your last star on the Boimler or just fill in some gaps. You also got the potential to get your Warship Torres copy in there. So even if you compete and you fall short, you're rank 1501 and it feels bad, man, just go ahead and try some packs and absolutely use your citations, because guess what? We got an honor sale coming up soon in about 3 weeks after this mega's over. We're all expecting an honor sale, and it'll be a great time to get some citations to finish off this Warship Torres. Get her on your roster. She is future-proof. This crew is so strong and has such an immensely unique skill set that you can expect her to be at the top of the later losers curve for years to come. This take a look here. The 1-year voyage rank, it says that we can expect her to drop to rank 48. I expect that she's still going to be in the top 20 in a year's time, and that's not a very bold statement. Just how rare the skill set is and how infrequently we see any sort of med crew. Look down here, Dr. Kovic, 2 years old, Nancy Hedford, October of last year. These are the most recent med crew that we've had that we could actually compete for that were in events. Either the mega or just a drop from an event. And then before that, Dexa, like 4 years old, they just don't come around very often. So make sure you are playing this event, dump your crons, dump your components, compete for it. It's going to be a hot one. And if you don't like the missions this time around, we'll see you tomorrow for the new set of supply missions in the Galaxy event. Maybe it's something that you've stockpiled. Anyways, hope to be there competing alongside you. Thanks for joining me today. We'll cover some of the other crew. We've got Innovator Rom. We've got a new objective event crew. There's a whole lot to talk about. We'll talk about the Boimler also, but that's for another day. For now, thanks for joining. Live long and prosper.